Yo, what is up? I don't have a voice. That's what happens when you dunk with too much hype. But today I'm making a tutorial on how to jump off 2 feet. It's pretty basic, but it's basically what I know. It's not that scientific, but I have a lot of experience and I have a lot of friends that jump really high off 2 feet. So I'm going to give my best advice and some little tips that you should be working on. And if you don't know me, my name is Celi, and I'm on a righteous dunk journey 2.0 to just be the best dunker I can be. And there's specific goals listed in my day one video that I'm still chasing to this day that you guys might not even remember. But a lot of it's just I got my first dunk and now I'm trying to land some tricks and game dunks. That's pretty much the gist of it. But let's just get into it. I'm going to go over some just basic jump technique and then some different like dribble dunks, like off two feet, all off 2 feet obviously, but why backboard helps me get the right form, and also dribble dunks and just lob dunks in general. So my personal best jumping is off a lob when I just throw it really high, or off a backboard because I can use my full arm swing. So I'll just get into it real quick. So make this lower. So the good things to look here, this is the basic form. You can't see my full run up, but you don't want to stutter step at the approach right here. So when you first start right here, you want to just have big strides, always accelerating, and then your last 2 steps, that's going to be called your plants. Those are going to be your fastest steps, and the step before that gets you into your plant from moving to the upward motion is called your penultimate. So that is this step right here, this big step. This is your penultimate step, and then this foot I learned from my boy John Evans is called the block. But if you're right-left, which I am, your right foot would be your block, and if you're left-right, like other people, which I have in this video, your left foot would be your block. The block is basically the foot that stops your momentum going forwards and starts to propel you upwards. So you want, the first thing you want to look at, look, I'm stepping on the free throw line. You want a big penultimate, and then you want these 2 steps, boom, boom, to be almost simultaneous, and then you take off, okay? So now more to look out on that too is you also want those 2 feet to be flat. See how they're like, don't worry too much about, some people have like more heel drive, and some people on their front back, their first foot or their second foot. Don't worry about that too much. You just want to kind of have a similar plant. So you see my knee is kind of caved in. A lot of people do that. You're kind of leaning and you're, but the thing that is really good about my form is that I'm really upright, because some people lean all the way forwards and try to load into it. You really want to try to stay upright, just plant and have an engaged core and really take off. I'll show you other people's videos also who have the same type of plant but maybe left-right but have similar form, and I'll point out the similarities. And I also want to point out the thing that I do poorly sometimes, which is sometimes my back foot, my block step, I plant it and then it twists outwards, and I think that's because I run too fast and I'm trying to block momentum that's just too much. I need to slow down my approach and focus on just like really planting hard and jumping up. So I think I don't know what to go to first. So anyway, overall, that squeak is a good sign too. My 2 feet are basically simultaneous. So look how fast my plant is when I go. After big penultimate, it's like doo-doo, so it's really fast. Yeah, so one thing for me that I recently started learning, this is one of my most recent sessions, I think my most recent session, is that my whole career I've been trying to run faster and jump harder, but I think I don't need to run any faster into my jump. That's not going to make me jump higher. I need to have a top speed that is probably this speed. I don't need to go any faster into it, but really just focus on jumping with more force, like pushing off the ground harder and into my penultimate. And that's a good segue to my next clip, which is Isaiah. I'm going to show you his off lob first, because he has very good control when he goes up to the takeoff. Like, he jumps higher than me. He jumps super high. He's one of the highest jumpers in the dunk game, and he takes off with a slower approach even than me and jumps higher. So it goes to show you, I'll just show you real quick. So he killed that, right? Let me add a little bit more to it. But he doesn't, so what he does really good is the timing of the lob, which is a whole nother tutorial if you want to watch it. But he just takes big steps, 1, 2, 3, and now he's going into his penultimate right here. He's got a big, see how big it is? He's left, right. So he's going to plant his left foot, plant those 2 feet almost simultaneous, like you want those really quick, and then just stay upright and get up. Dang it, by the way. Okay, but the point is like, he's not going that fast. He's not running a sprint. Like me, you see me, I'm almost sprinting into my jump just because I've always tried to do that, to jump higher, but I'm learning now I don't need to run that fast. So he does that really well. So I'm going to show you one more jump. This is, so CJ is left-handed, but he jumps left-right. So it's basically the same for me, just mirrored. He jumps really well. So this is just a height check by him. And he's got that big penultimate, same similarity. His feet plant pretty quick, and then he takes off upright. And one thing about him that I want you to point out is that his jump was very balanced. He lands back on 2 feet, which is a good sign that you jumped with equal force on each leg, which is what you want. You may be a little bit more dominant in one leg, but as you take off and go through the full, like you might plant on your right foot. For him, it's his left foot, and that leg might be stronger and more dominant, but after you plant on it and plant both feet and you take off, you should have equal force. You shouldn't be like leaning, or like, you should be very balanced in the air, and that's why he goes up so straight. But one thing I want to point out with him is that when he plants his left foot right here, it's like almost off the ground. Like he just has his toes on the ground. Some people have like a full heel on the ground. But he does have like the knee cave inwards. His body's upright. His hips are kind of low. And those are all the similarities between all these jumpers. But you're going to have your own little style. It's not going to be perfect, but you do want to emulate the overall basics of what he's doing, which is big penultimate again, planting feet simultaneously, stay upright, and just take off, boy. And gets his head friggin' above the rim, pretty much. Jesus. Good picture by the Golden Bear, by the way, snapping at the right time. Now, Ryan, I just had to throw him in this video as my boy, but he recorded 48 inches, and his form is like impeccable. So if you watch this here, he takes off. You don't see the whole run up, but very upright, very balanced, and very high. So if you look at his plants, he comes in, big penultimate. I think he's a lefty, but he goes right left. So that's like Isaiah, left, right, mirrored. Okay, so he plants, and he keeps his foot, his back foot, his right foot very flat on the ground, like not as much heel up in the air as CJ. And again, this is just something I want to point out. It's not that important. You don't need your heel up or down. I think people are just a little bit different. There's a little variability there. But the point is that he planted, he blocked, his foot stayed straight, his other foot came around, planted pretty quick after, stayed upright. He's almost like completely upright and just jumped through. And when you want to jump off 2 feet, all these people off a lob, we all use this big arm swing as well. So you want to, as you're loading up, you have it back, and as you come through, he does it perfectly. Swing up and use your arm swing. That's why so many people get their first dunk, for me, in my opinion, get their first dunk off a lob, just because you don't have the weight of the ball, which is just physics. You're not gonna jump as high with a weight in your hand, even if it's only like a few ounces. And you could just reach, and you can use your full arm swing on your jump. So that's why when I do my lob tutorial, I say it's a great way to get your first dunk, because you can use your full arm swing and you can just reach for the ball. So that's great. So now I'm going to show you some off the dribble. And, real quick though, to what I like about backboard dunks, which I have right here. All these things, what I really like about backboard dunks, just for tips for 2-foot jumping, is that if you throw yourself a backboard dunk and get the timing right, it forces you into the right position. At least it forces me into the right position, and I'll show you why. So that's why I have no voice. But right here, I have a whole backboard tutorial on my YouTube channel. I'm almost positive, I kind of forget, but I'm pretty sure I do. But the timing is that I throw the ball so hard at the backboard that when it comes off, I don't have time to even load down. It makes me stay upright, and I have to jump quick because the ball's coming off and up in the air. So I don't even think about jumping. And this is the opposite with my dribble dunk. I think too much about trying to jump with the ball, that I load up too much and my plant is slow. So with off the backboard, I throw it and I just have to go get the ball. So I just I go boom, really quick, and I stay upright, and it just forces me in the right form, and I jump up instead of at the rim forwards, it makes me jump up for the ball as well. So it keeps me really tall and all of that. And if you have those Odell hands, you can catch it with your fingertips like this. Bobble it, doesn't matter. We good. Okay, so you get the point. So for 2-foot backboard dunks are great to help you with your form. So try those out, just because I threw it way hard off the board, so it comes really extended. But if you throw it lightly, it'll come like right off the front of the rim, and you could just go get it. And it's a great way, instead of like a lob, it's just another dunk you can do off 2 feet. That's pretty simple. Okay, so the negatives of this jump, though, which is what I'm struggling with right now because I think I'm faster than ever and stronger, is if you look at my right foot, my block right here, if you see this, it kind of twists outwards a little bit. Well, it would be my right foot, so I plant, but this one planted and twisted out a little bit. And I think that's because I came into the jump too fast, and it twists a little bit. And it's not the worst. Like, I think even Dexton, he jumps with almost a lot of times with his foot twisting outwards, so it doesn't affect you that much. But when I used to be a left-right jumper, which I'm trying to get back, my left foot would turn out so much I would feel like ankle pain and knee pain. So that's why I switched to right-left, and because my footwork was a lot more solid. Now I'm going a little bit too fast, but it doesn't affect my jumping that much, but it also affects me mentally because I know I'm like tweaking my ankle. But that's why you really want to try to focus on the right-left, the plant where you stay straight. And if you have trouble with that, what I did is I went to just back to drop stepping, which is just like one step. Basically, like all you're doing is standing like this far from the rim. You're not running, you're just at a standstill. Take your big penultimate and just plant. So basically just a penultimate and a plant, and just rep that out so you don't have any speed and you're just focusing on the plant. So that's that. Okay, so one more time. Yeah, okay. So now dribble dunks. I'm going to go to Isaiah first because he just kills this dribble dunk. It's insane, and he barely runs into it. As you see right now, he's basically walking into it, and just watch. Absolutely killing it. It's pretty ridiculous. So I'm going to point out the good things that I see and try to help you with the dribble dunks, and I'll go to myself of what I... So with him, he's very explosive. Just one step pretty much, and then a big penultimate, gets about the same distance of his penultimate as his lob dunks, which is why I think he's so good off the dribble. And then he plants, and look at his feet. They're both he's trying to do a 360, which is another reason I brought this video, because it's pretty insane. But big plant, leaning a lot, still upright, and then even though he's going between his legs, he's bringing the ball up. Look, it's already almost above his head, and that's big in dribble dunks. And then he just shows his athletic ability. But I just wanted to bring this in because it's an elite, huge, crazy dunk, 360 between the legs, yet he's doing it off like 2 steps, and he's still bringing the ball up, and that's what you have to do with dribble dunks, which I'm going to segue to myself now. So for dribble dunks, you really want to focus on still bringing it up, because a lot of times you just have the ball and you're trying to go to the rim, but you want to focus on trying to get an arm swing with the ball as well. So for me, my best dribble dunks, to show off a little more, is when actually someone tries to block me, and I didn't know that until people tried to block me, so that's why I wanted to point it out to you guys. And what I learned from it is the same thing as kind of the backboard, where it forces me to go upright. When someone tries to block me, I'm dribbling at them, and then I try to jump, and I'm just focusing on trying to like get over them instead of like jump at the rim. And that's different for me, because when I try to dunk off the dribble, I'm really thinking about trying to jump. And when I throw a lob, I'm just thinking about going and getting the ball. So it's a different mindset, and it messes with my technique that I'm learning now. But if you watch here, let's just watch it. Yeah, one of my hardest dribble dunks ever. It was hilarious that it was on somebody. I've never even dunked that hard off the dribble since. But anyway, so I dribble, same big penultimate, and the thing I did well here is I planted both feet pretty simultaneous and still popped up fast, which I don't normally do on dribble dunks. I usually like plant, and then try to jump, and it's really slow. So I've recently been focusing on, or whenever I work on my dribble dunks, I'm really focusing on trying to emulate my lob technique, which is just plant super quick and jump upright. So since he was there, as you see, I bring the ball up like this. That's part of my arm swing, and I try to go over him. So that helps you jump higher. And bang. So that's that. And I think I have one more clip of another poster. So this guy was really tall. And if you watch here, same thing. And that's just what I want to point out. Good dunk, Steve. That's like one of my favorite dunks ever. Okay, so what I want to point out here is that big penultimate right here. And then since he's right there, I'm not thinking about the rim. I'm just thinking about going up. So it kind of makes me like really swing up. But look at my feet. I plant just like my lob, legs bent, still really upright. I got like my toes on the ground. It's a pretty crazy jump. And that goes to show you don't need like a huge load up. Some people just need to like pop, you know? And so I stayed upright, swung the ball up. I'm not trying to cock it back. I'm just literally trying to jump my hardest, and that what gave me the big jump. I'm not trying to Blake Griffin his mouth either. I don't think I did, but this is a really nasty dunk. He's 6'7", by the way, like legit. He challenged me, so that's what happens. Okay, so anyway, the point is though, when I try to dribble dunk without somebody, I don't jump well, and it's because I'm not jumping as quick or as upright, but it's hard to think about jumping high when no one's there. So for me, I jump the best off that. I don't have any videos of me jumping without somebody. I guess I can pull one up, but what I do for dribble dunks now is I go to like a low rim and just do drop step, because my drop step's getting better, and when I focus on my drop step off the dribble, it's teaching me to jump quick off the plant. Because before, even when I just tried to do a drop step, I would just do the penultimate into my drop step, and I felt my feet go like doom doom, and then try to jump, and it was so slow. And then I tried to speed that up, and that's when I felt an actual jump, just like if I didn't have the ball in my hands. And then I just build up my approach one step at a time. So then I'll do like one step, then penultimate, and then take off, and then I'll do like 2 steps penultimate and take off. So in conclusion, what you want to do is you don't want to sprint into the thing. You want to just have a controlled approach, just like Isaiah right here. You don't want stutter steps. When you throw a lob, sometimes it takes the timing to get the lob down, so you kind of go too quick and you realize you're ahead of it. So just work on the timing first. Try not to stutter step. Just have big steps. Come into your plant. Always accelerate as you go. Even if you're going slow and then your penultimate's super fast, you just don't want to be like running and then kind of like wait for the ball and then penultimate. You know, that'll just like kill your momentum. So you don't need like a lot of speed for momentum. You just want momentum. So, and then as you're moving forwards, take a big penultimate. Stay upright. That's why lobs are greater backboard, because you're looking up for the ball. Plant both feet as fast as possible. So if you want to practice, just step into a penultimate. So just stand there and stand by the rim. You don't need a ball or anything. Just take a big penultimate and focus on doom. So take a big penultimate and just focus on that, and then add 1 step to it, and then just take off and record yourself, because this was a great jump for me. I dunked, so I landed on 1 foot, but my takeoff was really, really balanced. My feet were straight. Look how quick it is. Like I barely even load up. And this was probably my best jump of the day. So when you record yourself, you can hear little details that might just give you some more insight. Listen to the squeak. So that squeak was really, listen to Isaiah's. I haven't even done this before, so this might backfire, but you hear, it's like, it almost sounds like one squeak, but it's like at both feet, you know? So when you record yourself, you could see things like that, and you could also see, like, when I jump in the air, my legs come up, and people ask me about that, and I don't do it on purpose, but it happens to a lot of people just because, like, you're jumping, and it's almost like the force, you push off your feet, and then the force just, like, comes back up through your body. But it's a really good sign when both your feet bend simultaneously or equal, because I've noticed on mine, when I feel like I have a bad jump, or I go sideways, I notice, like, 1 foot, or if I try to do left, right, which I'm bad at, 1 foot bends and the other one doesn't. So it almost feels like my 1 foot, one of my feet is getting all the force and the other one isn't. I think CJ does it as well here. So it's just a really good indicator that you're getting balance off your jump and things like that. And then the landing as well. You want a good balanced landing. CJ has a good one. He does a little roll here to save his knees, I guess. And then Ryan, I don't know if he falls, but he lands very balanced as well. So all these things come into play in 2-foot jumping. Also, your landings come into play. You could just go off on a box and just practice your landings. But I hope that's really helpful. That's pretty much it. All these dunks, I think I did a backboard tutorial and a windmill tutorial, a basic lob tutorial. They're all in the description. I think I'm going to do a self-bounce one next, the one that I do where I just like bounce it off the ground and go up for it. That's a really good dunk to practice. And that's pretty much it. I really hope you like this tutorial. A lot more tutorials coming soon. Let me know what tutorial you want to see next. If you want to do 1 foot, I can give you my advice. I'm not that great at it, but maybe I'll do like a podcast with my boy John, because he's an expert on it. But that's about it. Let me know what you want to see next. And I'm dunking tomorrow. And that's it. I'm excited. Hopefully my voice is good. If my voice is worse, I might take it easy because my body's telling me I'm worn down. All right. See ya. Thanks for watching.